Hey everyone, this is Jordan from Sleeklens.com. In this quick video, we're going to show you a really fun tool that you could probably find a good use for, and that is actually being able to render trees. This is a really cool tool, especially if you kind of want to play with placement of trees or just some fun things you can do in Photoshop. So we have this image here, and obviously it has a couple trees over here on the right side going into the left, but I want to add a tree over here on this side. So what we would typically do is maybe try to find some Google images of trees that we can maybe cut out the background or something like that. But Google has a built-in feature that allows you to render trees. Now, one caveat to this is these are CG trees. These are computer-generated trees. So these are not going to be trees that you probably want to have the main focal point be on your image because it's going to look fake. But if you're doing something that's more small, or maybe you're filling in gaps, maybe in a tree line or something like that, you can definitely use these, and it'll probably work out pretty well. So we have this image here, and I'm going to go over here to filter, and I'm going to go to render, and I'm going to go to tree. And here's going to give you this dialog box where you can basically customize your tree. You can go over here, you can load, you can actually save a specific type of tree if you wanted to, but you can go into the base tree type, and it has all these bunch of trees that you can choose from. Now, I don't know exactly what trees these are in the original image, but you can kind of play with some different types of trees here. They got a lot of them to choose from, more than I even know what trees, what specific trees are. But I think I'm just going to choose this one. It looks kind of fun. But you can change the light direction. You can see on this image, if we were to scoot this over a little bit, the light seems to be coming from the right side. So we want to have the light direction coming from the right side as well. If it was coming from the left, just drag it over there. And now it's more on the left. Kind of going around here, but I'm going to go on the right side here. You can change the leaves amount, so you can get more or less leaves if you wanted to, and you can see how it just changes real time to kind of reflect that leaf size. You can make them smaller leaves to kind of match the scene. Branches height, you can make it a fairly tall tree. You can make it kind of oblong or kind of crazy, but it's just kind of a fun thing here. Branch thickness, you can make really thick branches or really tiny branches and tree trunk there. But let's say we like this one here. So again, we could have the option of saving this if we wanted to, if we want to come back to this specific type. But just for our purposes, I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And you can see it creates this tree. Now, one thing you would want to do, which we didn't do, just because I wanted to show you the type of tree that you would get, is you actually want to do this on a blank layer, because right now we cannot move it at all. It's basically pasted in our image exactly the way it is. We can't do anything about it. So I'm going to go ahead and do Command Z to delete that, and then make a new layer and do the same thing. Go over here to Filter, Render, Tree, and this is the exact tree that we just did, so I'm just going to click OK here. And now we have our tree. So now what we can do is just do a free transform, Command or Control T on your keyboard. Now we can size it down a little bit. And I mentioned that I wanted it over here on this edge. So to make it kind of blend in a little bit with these trees, this is actually behind a little mound over here. So we're going to make it right behind the mound on this side here, this little hill. So roughly around there. Maybe scale it down just a little bit and click enter. So now what we need to do is just use like we would typically use. We would do a blending, a layer mask. We would click on the layer mask here, get our brush, make it a black brush, and then we can kind of get it in behind that mound like we were talking about over there. So that kind of goes down there, it kind of dips below that hill. And now if we want to blend it in a little bit more, because it still looks a little bit fake, we can play with the curves, and we can kind of start blending it in, making it match the scene a little bit more. But you can see the types of things that you can do here. You can really have fun playing with these different options. So this was basically our image that we just wanted to add a little tree over there. So this is our before, and then this is our after. So kind of a fun little tool. Again, if you want to have one of those classic shots of the tree standing alone on the mountain or the hill or something like that, you're probably not going to want to use this because it will look very fake. But for simple things like this, it's actually a pretty good little tool. So thank you guys for joining me in this video. This has been Jordan from Sleeklens, and I'll see you in the next one.